Let's start with you, Peter. Who are you supporting out of the candidates so far?
I have to say, I'm Team Rishi.
Are you actually?
I really am. I'm such an
You
outlier.
like a dull man, do you?
I know, look, I know it's a really pedestrian view to take, but I just think he's got that statesman-like quality. I think he's cool and calm under pressure, and I quite like the fact that he's young and ambitious and kind of cutthroat.
You don't think he's too small to be Prime Minister? Do you not think even Vladimir Putin would quite literally look down on him?
Well, I was going to say, look at Putin. He didn't have any problems, did he?
No, but he is armed to the teeth.
Well, you know, I'm Team Rishi, and that's...
You're Team Rishi?
Maybe he can have some kind of stretching surgery to make himself taller. I don't know, but...
I believe so. Paul, who are you backing?
Well, I'm Team not Richie, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. That'll do for me.
When I didn't want Boris to go, I'm very upset the mainstream media drove him out. So... Penny, I don't really want an ex-reality star as our Prime Minister. Don't trust her.
Don't trust her.
Saying what we want to hear, but, you know, she doesn't believe... She just wants to get the vote, basically, from the Conservative members. She obviously has a twin brother that's an activist, and he said the Conservative Party members hate gay people, basically, so which is quite worrying. I don't like a lot of them. If I have to pick, I'd say Liz Truss, only because Jacob Rees-Mogg backs her. And I think it's fabulous, as a lot of people know.
She's Jacob's biggest fan.
Are you a fangirl?
Fabulous, yes.
Are you is he a Mogg star to you? That doesn't quite work.
He is the Mogg star. Like, no one can outsmart the Mogg star. I think he's so bright, so traditional.
Okay.
And, yes.
What do you want? So, what do you want to hear from the candidates? So, because there was an interesting poll that took place, which was basically that Rishi Sunak is the front runner, but there's a lot of that due to name recognition because he's been in the forefront, right?
Obviously.
Which is fact. That's how the world works, right? So, if you take that out of it, apparently he loses to pretty much every other candidate. And my concern would be that if you elect Rishi, or they elect Rishi, that actually they end up losing the next election because he's not that popular with the public. What do you think?
See, I disagree. I think he is quite popular with the public. He performed under a lot of pressure over the last couple of years at the front line of politics. And I especially like the fact that he's young and ambitious. But at the same time, I almost feel like it's futile. Whoever gets the top job, the Conservative Party has long lost its way. It's not really about conserving anything. It's maybe slightly slowing the decline of the country, more so than it would be under the Labour Party. But really, it doesn't conserve anything. It doesn't really have any conservative values. So I think whoever takes the top job needs to take it back to, like, a 1980s era.
What's the main issue for you? Because I've heard a lot about people talking about cutting taxes, but a lot about people talking about what they do in Ukraine. I've not heard much about what they're going to do in the Channel, for example.
OK, a lot of the candidates now are talking about this, but going back to Richie, I think people are forgetting he's the highest taxing chancellor since peacetime, and he's supposed to be, you know, a conservative man. He wanted to increase corporation tax by a staggering 30%, which is... I mean, it would have gone from 19 to 25%. Labour only wanted 26%. So,
do you think he's too rich to be in power?
I think he's awful with money. I mean, he was awful with money as a chancellor.
He's good with his own money, obviously.
Yeah, but he's going to be even worse as a Prime Minister. You know, we're in a cost of living crisis. He's never had to worry, even though his American video is demonstrating that he lived in a chemist.
I mean, there's no way that was knocked out in 24 hours, by the way.
Well, I know, like, January the 30th, a lot of people were saying that the first draft was already done. You know, I've seen an Instagram post saying, ready for Richie. That's what he was going to use, 30th of January. So it's all planned when he should have been back in our Prime Minister.
I know it's...
Back Boris, that's what he should have done.
It's very Machiavellian of him, what he's done, and it was obviously planned for a long time. But I think if you want that role so much you're willing to do that, that is the name of the game in politics. It's a nasty business. That's how it operates. I feel like Rishi's ambition is driven by, like, a personal desire to do that job, whereas Penny's, I feel like, is more opportunistic. She's kind of throwing her hat into the ring... because she's got the opportunity.
Do you not think it would be interesting, just quickly, do you think it would be interesting if Kemi Badenoch won? Because then the Tories would have three female Prime Ministers and the first ethnic minority, which for a racist, sexist party is not bad going, is it?
I mean, they must be the worst sexist, racist, homophobic party.
Yeah, they're terrible at being racist and sexist.
I mean, I think they've probably also got more gay politicians than the Labour Party.
Well, they've got more than they know about.
We never know, exactly.
But hey, when did facts ever, matter to insane liberals on the left? It's irrelevant. But I'm more than happy with whoever takes the top job. It would be great if it's another woman, just purely for that reason. But, at the same time, Rishi has his own intersectional qualities.
I wonder where you were going with that then for a second. I could smell the defamation case coming from here for a minute there.
He's
but
obviously not an old white man, so he's got his own credentials.
That's true. What do you think about the likes of Kemi Badenoch?
Well, I think Michael Gove is backing her, and he's just been sacked for the second time. So anything that... If he's backing someone, I won't back them. So,
OK.
Yeah, no, I don't think she has enough experience. I think she has a lot of potential, but she's not ready right now. And I know a lot of people have told her to get out of the race because then she can get a better job, maybe on the front bench.